Welcome back to the Slanted Attic Experience. I'm your host, Tyler, and today we're diving into a fast-moving conversation about clean living, self-sufficiency, and the systems that quietly shape our everyday lives. Joining me is James, a true northern Minnesota outdoorsman who grew up fishing, playing every sport imaginable, and living outside more than in. He's now based in Montana with his wife and son, balancing oil rig work, a landscaping business, and the search for a permanent home on real land. We're also joined today by Mackenzie, a Canada native and dedicated beekeeping advocate who brings an energetic, nature-first outlook on everything from food quality to environmental health. Together, we cover natural versus processed meats, bird flu, off-grid living, state nationality, fishing, cultural shifts in Richmond, British Columbia, education costs, skilled trades, truck driving, meat production standards, global healthcare, GLP-1s, vaccines, supplements, organic regulations, clean foods, and Mackenzie's beekeeping storyline. It's a packed, eye-opening episode designed to make you rethink the way we live, eat, and stay healthy. Let's get into it. And Seth, yeah, he just went to like Comic-Con or something a few days ago. I saw that.
I saw that too.
Let me see. I'm trying to think. I don't know who else I would have had Mackenzie on the podcast other than you two guys. You're probably the two I've most connected with since then, and probably there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Jake for a while, that dude from
Jake?
Jersey.
Yeah, I talked to Jake too.
I remember
Yeah,
Jake.
I haven't talked to him for quite a while now, but
No, me either. Been at least a year. I think I followed up with him maybe a year ago. Or something.
yeah, something like that. Probably the last time I
See
talked
what's
to him
up.
too.
See what's up.
Some
It's so
funny
fun.
Instagram.
Yeah. Love that. So before you joined us in your beautiful location that I still only have audio for this podcast, so we'll have to take a screenshot of Mackenzie's back right now.
There
Unbelievable.
you go.
But I was telling James something I wanted to talk to both of you guys about because I don't see it here is kind of the nature and the landscape of the West, basically, because it's so vastly different than what I have on the East Coast. I mean, we're primarily like rolling hills, Virginia. I mean, nothing special. Obviously, it's a different environment, atmosphere, but both you guys have much different, vast experience. I mean, the background behind Mackenzie. I mean, James, you in Minnesota and Montana. I'm sure those landscapes are different too. So, and I both know, or I know you both are very interested in various nature aspects. So, I mean, yeah, I just wanted to kind of get straight into that. Obviously, Mackenzie, your job, revolves around nature itself. James, you too, to another degree. But yeah, just share your experience with how that's different, I guess. Have either of you been to the East Coast of the United States at all?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. You know how different it is, I'm sure. I was in
course,
college for 9 months and I was like, this is unbelievable. So, but yeah.
Totally. I think
My
this
major experience there though is Florida.
Florida.
I go to Florida a lot.
Florida's fun, but it's hot and humid, bro.
Yep.
It's better a little bit more northern.
Oh,
Mhm.
definitely.
I find this year in particular, I've become like super obsessed with trying to live off the land and become like
That's
a wild
awesome.
mountain man and like run through the forest and shit. And so I've been on that wave, I've kind of like removed myself from society and I've been living on this like private island off the coast of Vancouver. And I've just been trying to do as much as I can, fish, hunt, whatever I can, trying to do anything. Just trying
That's
to
so
get my
fun.
super fun. I sent you guys a photo earlier of those oyster mushrooms that I found, and oh
Heck
man,
yeah.
I think I have like I could probably harvest another 6 of those buckets right now from this place I found. It's so awesome.
Crazy. It's crazy how
Yeah.
life propagates in areas like that. And I'm sure, like, I don't know, eating out of your direct environment's so much more clean than especially the processed shit I'm used to. James, I know you said you hunt frequently, so you
I
might get
don't
a
go
lot
to the
better
grocery
meat.
store.
I was gonna say, the meat that I get compared to the two of you guys or whatever you're eating is fucking garbage, man. So like,
Oh, it's
yeah, I'm trying to move
disgusting.
towards that
Hmm.
for
Yeah, I
sure.
raise all my own cows, pigs, chickens, everything. So I got it all. None of it comes from the store. It's all straight from,
That's
you know,
awesome.
my backyard. Right here, it's not. It's my in-laws have them for me out here, but In Minnesota, it's all right literally in my backyard.
Wow. You're living my dream, man. I want to do the exact same. I'm looking at buying some acreage somewhere around here and trying to throw some like ducks and some chickens out there and maybe some goats, something
There you
like
go.
that. Anything that isn't too
Absolutely.
loud.
Yeah,
Chickens are so easy to maintain. They just
I
eat the
know.
environment. So you're like guaranteed food.
I was reading that it's like for every 1.5 pounds of feed, you get 1 pound
Mhm.
of chicken meat from it. I was like,
Yep.
that efficiency is so good when you're trying to get some meat production. Wow,
Well, and
it's
you don't
crazy.
even really need to give them feed except when they're young because they'll forage and get grubs and that whole thing, especially like in the area where you're at where you got some foliage, they'll take
Mhm.
it over,
Totally. There's bad bird flu epidemic happening here right now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's rough. It's like almost 50% of all the head here in the lower mainland and further are dying every year. Like 50%, like
yeah,
50. That's insane.
that's nuts.
It's
that is
super
There
crazy.
was
wild.
a giant thing down here too that there was a lot of the mass chicken barns and stuff like the mass producers that were having that same kind of issue between
Mhm,
chickens and turkeys. They were going really bad, or people were
mhm.
lighting them on fire or whatever. It was not a good thing. That was a couple years ago, but
That's horrible. Um,
That's wild. Yeah, that's why I want it in my own backyard, man. So for like chickens, specific question. Do we need to maintain like an area of land for them to only forage? Because I know you want to move them around so they can like harvest all the insects from different areas. Like, but I wouldn't want them going too far so they return to roost, lay me some eggs, and I could chop their head off at the end of the day,
well,
right? Like, how does that
it
work?
totally depends on your specification. Like where my parents, they have a pretty big chicken run where they have a higher fence that they set up, so they only let them in that area because my mom has flower beds and they have a big garden and stuff like that. So they don't want them to destroy that stuff because they'll go and just rut. That's chickens. They like dust baths, so they'll like literally rut in the ground and throw dust up on themselves as kind of their version of a bath. So yeah, that's just totally depending on you. Like at my house, I free range them, and
mhm.
so I let them go my whole property. And at night, they'll come back to the roost by themselves because they know it's safe and warm and whatever. That's just their normality, I guess. But
Gotcha. I guess that was my question. If I need to keep them in any like enclosed area of land. I mean, it probably depends on natural predators around the area too. I
it
would assume.
does. It definitely does. Where I had a bear crawl into my enclosure.
Oh,
So
geez.
like, yeah, like a huge thing for chickens also is skunks. Skunks will try and eat chicken eggs,
Weird.
like really bad skunks for whatever reason. So I've
Really?
I've shot like like 9 skunks in my chicken enclosure.
Cool. You do the tomato bath?
No, I didn't get sprayed.
Now he's taking him out before he gets to that, bro.
That's good. That's
Um,
good.
Between that and weasels get in through any little crack and they'll get the chicken eggs too.
Damn.
Yep.
I don't deal with weasels very kindly around here. So.
I
No, but like
Not
yeah,
very prominent.
yeah,
I used to live beside a turkey farm, and when you would walk past the barns where they were held into, if you made too much noise, all the turkeys would run to one side of the wall like they want to get fed, and then they would suffocate the whole first layer in front of them because they all trying to get to one side. And they would completely suffocate an entire wall of turkeys. So anytime you were around the turkeys, you had to be like silent.
that's wild.
Yeah,
Should build a
they had
road further away from the barn, or you shouldn't have built the barn so close to where people are walking.
totally. I think I want to do ducks more than chickens because when I was a little kid, I went to this farm and the chickens got loose. They chased me and I was so terrified. They'd jump up and bite my ass, and I had little bruises all along the backside of my leg from these chickens. And
Uh,
yes, we did turn them into a rotisserie chicken and it was delicious.
all my chickens are nice. Any
That's
chicken that was caught being malicious met a 12 gauge. So
good. That's
um,
good.
my rooster is over 3 feet tall. He's massive, and
Wow.
That's
I
great.
only have one rooster right now that I kept. The other ones disappeared. So
Buddy, you got a huge cock. Like, wow.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
it is massive.
it
3 feet.
is very
Never.
large.
3 feet. Is that some kind of Guinness World Record or something?
Damn.
Not even close, surprisingly.
Yeah. What's the world record? Do you know it?
I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's massive.
Here, we'll look it up.
I'm sure I got a video of it. I'll send. Let's see.
I'm looking it up too.
This is garbage. That's not right. Matilda. What is that saying?
Buddy, you should take your chicken to Guinness World Record. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
3 feet is like, that's a pretty big chicken.
Dude, he's massive.
I'm not seeing anything that's larger than that, bro.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
his
not.
spurs are like this long. His spurs look like a turkey. He's huge.
Tallest. Maybe I should say tallest instead of largest.
Do you do
See.
hormones,
Saying 16
or do you
inches.
just keep them natural?
Another
Most of it's natural, and then I had feed when they were younger.
Yeah. Do you do any antibiotics?
Yeah, a little bit. With him, I did, and then with my first batch, I did. I don't know if my parents are keeping it going with the
Yeah.
antibiotics. Oh, here we go.
What are the benefits of adding something like that to their diet, or do you like inject them?
Yeah, when they're little, you inject them, and you can clip their wings so they can't fly out of your coop or like out of your fence.
It's just like a risk prevention thing. So like in the small
Pretty
case that they do catch something, you don't want to be eating that. So you just give them antibiotics to make sure that there's like basically a 0% chance that you'll die from eating their meat.
Gotcha.
It's
It's
or
propagated
gets
throughout their system or whatever.
exactly.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
These are all things that I'm going to need to know when I run my own self-sufficient farm in 25 years. So we're just gathering data collecting, as they say. But yeah, something else I kind of wanted to bring up, like what I've been researching a bunch of, I work in the construction industry. So a lot, like I want to know how to make a property self-sufficient and like what I need to do when I'm buying large amount of acreage with nothing on it. Like I need, the well and septic service needs some paved, at least a paved road, and figure out how to get material, clear the land, all that stuff. So, is that something I'll have to do here in like I mean, there's not even like a term for it, the Mid East, like west of where I'm at now, where I can get some significant land, for not a whole lot of money. But yeah, that's something. I don't know if you guys have any experience in that, but like once you get there, obviously I want to do the whole farm aspect, solar power, rainwater collection, fun things like
there you go. That video came through.
Oh, I see it. Wow, that's a huge chicken. That's one big one.
He's massive, dude. He's massive.
Wow. But yeah, I got a ton of experience with the off-grid lifestyle. I could help you out with anything you need to know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like there's different options for electricity depending on what you want to do and where you're at. Like a lot of people in my area, they do like natural gas generators because they've gotten pretty efficient where like you can run natural gas for like under 10 cents per kilowatt hour versus doing like the whole finance deal to get solar because you can get like loans to put solar and then pay it off over time at like 0% interest. And so you can pay for your electricity basically through finance. But at the end of the day, like when it comes to solar, the technology advances so quickly that in 10 years, the amount of solar that's out there is going to be so much better than the stuff that you buy now. And so it's like, it's always a tricky situation where you almost want to stay on top of it so you have more efficiency with your lights and everything.
right.
Well, and a lot of the stuff they have now is there's so much waste for no reason that
Totally.
even though it's it's solar power, it's supposed to be green, whatever. You got to have a battery farm that's
Mhm.
destroys the environment because you can't get rid of batteries, and it just doesn't make
Exactly.
any sense.
No, exactly. And they're just like lead or lithium batteries that are not as good for the environment. You still need those even if you do natural gas, though. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're getting batteries if you need electricity. You're doing the off-grid thing. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, the well thing is interesting too. Just make sure you look into the area because there's a lot of areas that could have severe contamination and
Sure.
like
I would put
something
in
to
a bunch of
keep an eye out.
filtration systems. I want like a reverse osmosis system, and then I'm sure like I don't know what the other stuff is, like calcium. I don't know what else. I don't. I have to I'd have to research that for sure. But like I know the groundwater here isn't necessarily fantastic. Little
Mhm.
side note, really quick, before I get more of your advice. We've had a water crisis twice in the city of Richmond, Virginia, over the course of the past 5 months. Um, First one was too much rain. The James River flooded, um, which is not even. I mean, it's a pretty big river. I wouldn't say overly large, but anyway, part of their filtration system, it runs off the James River and goes into like a sediment tank, lets that drop, and then they transport it elsewhere. Well, somehow the pump broke there. Pump broke in the main facility that overloaded an electrical panel. Boom, we didn't have clean water for like 4 days. Well, I don't even know what happened this time, but last week or 2 weeks ago, same type of shit happened. Boil water advisory notice for the entire city. Thankfully, a county nearby who has much better water reserves and a better system, probably took measures into their own hands this time around, so they had a little bit more supply for a larger amount of residents in the city. But it's crazy how quickly something like clean drinking water can just like turn off with the flick of a switch, and then hundreds of thousands of people don't have access to that. When does panic set in? I need to be out of here, bro. Like I can't be in a city when shit
Oh,
happens.
yeah.
I swear the next war will be fought over water.
Some sort of commodity. I don't know if it's necessarily water, but it's going to be something, some resource, probably
It,
natural resources.
it's definitely going to be natural resource based.
For sure. I mean, Canada has 2/3 of the world's drinking water, fresh drinking water. So if fucking anybody's going for for water, they're coming for us.
I start building up the fortress now, man.
Exactly, exactly. I'm
Man.
fucked off to an island, buddy. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Hey, I'm more or less in the same boat though. I'm registered as a state national, so it's not. I'm no longer technically a U.S. citizen anymore.
Oh, interesting. Why did you
Really?
do
Mhm.
that?
How or when?
Why?
Why is because so technically, in the grand scheme of things, it's like being a pre 14th Amendment citizen to the Constitution of the United States. So the 14th Amendment is when they invented taxes for World War II.
Hmm.
And so anything like before taxes applies, anything after taxes doesn't apply. So no new law that they make, no new anything counts towards anything. So as far as buying land, if I'm going to go buy land, I get the physical deed to the land. I don't have a mortgage. I get the physical piece of paper that says, "Hey, I own this property." It's not a guess. Same thing with vehicles. I get the data sheet of origin for when the vehicle was made. I don't get a copy of something from a bank or from a third party or like in the States they like to do your vehicle registration is the only thing you get. Like you get the title. Well, the title isn't technically the ownership of the vehicle
Hmm.
because you didn't get it from the factory. So
What other like restrictions comes with being a state
Yeah, that's
national?
what I was going to say. What are the
as
disadvantages?
far as restrictions, there's not that many, surprisingly. Like the, I guess, biggest restrictions is since I don't pay taxes, you don't have like I don't pay income tax is the biggest thing. So when I go to get a loan from a bank, if I needed to get a loan, which I won't need to do shortly, hopefully, but if I do need to get a loan, like right now, I'm going to try and buy another house. So uh, my W-2s show zero, as if I haven't worked for the last 2 years or 3 years, whatever. So the bank sees my deposits from my employer and I have to almost use pay stubs as my form of W-2 because it's zero in as far as the government knows.
Sure.
So
Is the
it's
IRS going to come after you or anything?
nope, it's all you send everything to them, and they can have the chance to dispute it, and if they don't dispute it within 21 days, it's all legal. So
Crazy.
Interesting.
I didn't even
very
know this.
large process though to get there. I mean, the stack of papers is as tall as you are. So
What? Yeah. How did you go about doing it? Like, how did
Yeah,
you even find
I'm
out
so
about it?
interested in this.
Why doesn't everyone
I've
do this?
never heard of this before.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's,
do I need to be shortlisting this on my to-dos? Like that's
Yeah.
I honestly I would, but
Can I do this as a Canadian? Like,
can you register a
I don't.
firearm?
I honestly I
Can you
don't know
have
the answer to that.
all
That would be a good question.
dual non-citizenship technically?
Pretty much, yeah. So you're almost as if like
Register.
as if you were when the English came to settle the West, it was almost as if you were already here, is what you're claiming. Like you were because you were born here, you're not of this country, you were on this land, you're not governed by another force, you're your own person, your own entity. So then you go if you break it all the way down, like I don't need a driver's license, I don't need to register any of my vehicles, I don't need license plates, I don't need to get tabs for my vehicles every year, I don't need any of that. All of the gun laws don't apply. I can illegally open carry a firearm in all 50 states with no repercussion.
including
There's
kill people?
that's a stretch. I
That's
mean, you'll
that's
still get
what's up.
arrested for that.
Okay, just
But
checking.
yeah, like most of the process is like acting in good faith. So as long as you're being more of an upstanding member of the community and contributing, then nothing matters. It's like if I went off and lived in the hills by myself and didn't talk to anybody, it'd be the same as if I didn't exist.
Damn, I kind of want to do that though. Like
Sounds
a
cool.
hobbit
And
hole in
yeah,
Hobbiton.
the other
Bro.
the other
That'd be
cool
so
thing is you can still
And
claim
wherever
your social
Mackenzie
security.
is, I'll go live in that mountain range behind you, dude.
There
Wait,
you
you
go.
still can claim Social Security? Is that what you just said?
Yep.
If it even exists by the time we hit
Yep.
65.
You can still claim it because you were born as a citizen and then you transferred out. You can still claim your social security.
I'm flabbergasted. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But you still
First
are a
time.
U.S. citizen, technically. So you have no citizenship at all,
Technically, you don't.
but you have a residency.
Yeah, you're technically like a resident alien.
So, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Can anybody take like legal action against you for owning a property in that area? I guess would be my question then.
All of your properties and stuff go into a trust. You have to make a trust.
Sure.
And legally,
Trust.
you can't sue a trust. So any lawsuit brought against you is nullified in court.
Wow.
And that's with your land, with your vehicles, with everything you own goes into a trust. And only so when I go to sign my name, I'm not technically James Gosvig anymore. I am the agent of James Gosvig.
Sure.
So when I sign my name, I have to sign, or when I sign for documents, I have to write like my initials and then dash agent. You don't actually ever write your name anymore.
Because you're like a legal representative of the entity that you are
Yes.
repping. Interesting.
Yes.
So if you wanted to go onto the freeway and play high-speed bumper cars, you're telling me no one will fucking sue you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like it doesn't matter.
There's still like it's back to the good faith part, but yeah, like technically if I'm on an open road and I'm not causing any danger, I could do 150 miles an hour, and if the only one on the road was a cop, there's nothing they can do about it. But like if you're in high traffic area or something and you're going excessive speed, you're still going to get, probably arrested for reckless driving or something like that. Not that necessarily any charges will come from it, but you could get fined and whatever. I guess that it's case to case, kind of varies, I guess, but
Sure, be a good person, I think, is the
pretty much.
over,
Yeah.
overarching lesson.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what's crazy though. Like that's what makes me want to, you know, living by myself off the land would be one thing, but like I feel like everybody, humans in general, are tribal. We want some sort of community. So that's what I
Mhm.
need to find, bro. Buy like, I don't know, a lot of land, a lot, and just figure out how to get all the utilities,
And then
and then
start
we're good.
breeding.
Yes.
Yep. There you go. Gonna
Maybe
start
one day,
another cult of Jeffs.
one day, one day, if the podcast
Have
takes
you
off,
ever heard about them?
buy
I
an
have.
island.
The Jeffs cult? Oh God.
I watched the documentary on that. That was horrible.
Oh dude.
I have not seen that.
Oh, you'll have to look into that.
Should I watch it?
Good.
Dude, that's gnarly. Dude's got like 175 kids or something like that and they're all inbred. He's having kids with his daughters, basically. It's like
Where is this? Utah?
it was something like that.
Yeah.
It was like
Sorry, guys. That might have come off a little strong for all my Utah listeners out there. I didn't mean it.
it's kind of it was somewhere over there. You have to look it up, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, it's just the large presence of Mormonism there. Sounds like, yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to just hop off against Mormonism like that. Yeah, but let's go back to the nature thing. Let's talk about how James, you might be in a different environment than Mackenzie is there. I mean, do you sail at all? Do you have a boat?
I have multiple boats.
Oh, see, James has a boat.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have
What do
two
you do?
boats.
You have two boats? Okay, so everybody has boats. What do you do with the boats? You said you both fish a lot, yay?
Yep.
Mhm.
What do we catch?
Mostly salmon.
Salmon.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
In Montana we have salmon. In Minnesota we really don't. Minnesota is mostly walleyes and northerns, crappies, perch, panfish for the most part. So that's our majority. But as you both probably know, Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes. So
Mhm.
there's literally they start calling ponds lakes, and there's somewhere in the range of 15,000 registered lakes now in Minnesota.
that's
Wow.
crazy.
I'm
Um,
fishing then.
yeah. As far as Montana goes, though, it's mostly they have a lot of bigger fish, I guess. They still have walleyes and northern stuff like that, but they have paddlefish is really big out here,
Mhm.
and they have some sturgeon fishing here, and then salmon is another big one.
Wow.
Man, I wish I could go just catch some salmon right now.
It's the worst
Kids are
though.
probably more fun.
Nah,
I mean,
don't know.
terrible at
You
fishing
drink all
anyway.
the
So yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
time. There's some crazy fishing out here that I don't really do, but like in the deep waters, you do like tuna or like any of like the larger fish that you can find, the more predatory fish. But I don't really do much of that. It's way too intense. My dad did it once, and he was trying to catch a swordfish. And I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys ever seen that, but like he was sitting there with his fishing rod for like 7 to 9 hours, just trying to pull it every like 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, and it's just sitting there yanking onto your arms, trying to rip your hole. And then he dislocated his arm right at the very last bit, trying to pull it up. Like
Did at least
that kind of fishing is not for me.
Oh,
did at
they're like
least get it?
700 pounds. They're huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they are big. That stuff is not fun.
Did he at least catch the fish?
Yeah, he got
Hopefully.
it.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah,
Dislocating the
and
shoulder and everything, man.
made like a plaster of it afterwards, and we have it framed on our wall somewhere.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's like grueling experience. No, I was more talking about like hopping out in the canoe or kayak and just go ripping some
Exactly.
fish, you know.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff you can catch out here. You can catch like rockfish
Yes,
or
they're so
what
good.
else? Lots of Dungeness crab out here.
We have a lot of those.
Prawning. It's really good prawning here too if you like shrimp.
I
That
do.
kind
Not a shrimp guy.
of, yeah.
Sorry to
Not,
everybody out there. Not a shrimp guy.
I'm actually
Yeah.
not a guy either myself, but I like
I
all the
love
others.
sushi. I'm all about that kind of life. So that's I love the shrimp and prawns and all that.
Man, we got some of the best sushi in the world here. I swear, it's
I believe it.
unbelievable. It's
It's
so good.
fresh.
It's all
Yeah.
fresh. It's all like super high quality. It's a big Japanese population, so it's all kind of authentic. It's pretty delicious here. If you like fresh
Really?
seafood, this is
Yeah.
the place.
That's interesting. A big Japanese population. You said
Mhm.
near where you guys are at. I wonder why
Yeah,
that
you know,
is.
I live in Richmond.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, just like you. But
Yeah, 'cause we're what, like 10-hour flight away.
yeah, exactly. Richmond, BC, which is like the number one most Chinese city in all of North America. But like
Really?
70% of the population or 78% of the population.
Wow.
So,
Why is
yeah,
that? Do you know?
no idea. But just a huge culture of it here. I guess like there was huge promotions in Canada to increase immigration because it's a basically what runs the economy here is like immigration. Like for us to be able to have any like low level workers, we have to basically try and bring in as many people as we can. And so from like 2000 to 2020, um, the Canadian government opened the floodgates, and so we have a huge Asian population and a huge Indian population because that's where most people who are immigrating. That's where most population in the world is. So that's I guess where they
Sure.
came. And if you're going to go anywhere in Canada, you're going to go to Vancouver because everywhere else is really cold.
And it's
So it's
gorgeous
best.
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really pretty here. It's just expensive too. Not only that, but it's like a very stable investment. So a lot of wealthy foreigners would park sometimes illegal money, sometimes not illegal money. The laws have changed here in Canada to fight the inflation that's happening in China, so that they can actually like keep their currency. And so yeah, that's why real estate here is insane. Like for me to get a one bed, one bath, 500 square foot apartment is like maybe 1 million to 1.1 mil here.
Holy
That's very
cow.
cool. What are rental prices?
Like for a one bed, one bath, maybe like 2,800 a month.
Yeah, so you're talking
Holy
almost like
cow, dude.
Manhattan, New York City level. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's right there with Manhattan. Yeah, it's actually almost as densely populated in the west side of Vancouver too.
Really? I
Yeah,
bet
Wow.
it's
you
like
I don't even
I
know
think
anything about Vancouver, honestly. I bet you there's so much cool shit to do.
for sure.
I'm more
So
interested in the nature aspects, of course, but like
skiing,
everything.
hiking. If you like nature, this is the place you want to be for sure. It's like
All right,
all
so
nature.
so on the inverse scale of James, how do I become a Canadian citizen?
Well, if you have a specialized skill, that's probably like the easiest way. To be
Sure.
honest, like if you want to go work on a farm for 2 years, you can become a Canadian citizen pretty easily. What you need to do is you just have to get a work permit for 2 years, work here, and then you can apply for a permanent residency. And then once you have your permanent residency, then you're here for 5 years and you can apply for citizenship. It's not too complicated. You could also just buy it. Like a lot of companies, not beekeepers, they sell LMIAs to people because it's like kind of like a government loophole where if you're in a low demand business, like a high demand business for workers, like
Sure.
beekeeping,
Yeah, yeah,
where you need to import beekeepers to be able to actually manage your farm, then it's really easy to get permits so then you can bring people into the country.
interesting. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of legal loopholes and stuff like that in the US too, for random items or things that we don't know about. That's the problem. Like we are sheltered from this information, for lack of a better term. And like even with like financial planning and stuff we were talking about earlier, clearing, grading land, like installing utilities, stuff like that, that's not something we're taught in grade school, at least here in the US. You know what I mean? Like that's information thanks to the internet that now we can accumulate through reading Reddit posts or blogs or articles, whatever have you, however you intake your news these days. But it's kind of crazy, like how much I've had to learn from failing and learn by researching and, learn by applying these techniques, through investing, through like, I mean, I haven't even taken out any significant loans other than my student loans. What about a home equity line of credit and all this other shit? The Federal Reserve setting interest rates. It's all meant to be complicated to kind of help us understand less, if that makes any sense. So, just being able to understand your money, I think, is a huge leg up, at least, here in the US with what we have to offer. But
Definitely, especially that's part of the reason that my family's doing the thing that they're doing, I guess, is to get away from taxes is a huge thing. I mean, you know how much money you save a year? Like if I'm making 200,000 a year, I'm only actually making like 130, 140,000
right.
because all of that's going to taxes. Well, now with the new bill proposed, for no taxes on overtime, I mean that's going to help the regular person, but I mean, still, I mean that's extremely excessive for what what's actually feasible. So
Yeah, they'll
especially
just
with the way that the inflation is and
oh
stuff
yeah.
now, and it's kind of ridiculous. You can't afford to live uh like out here. I can't work a normal job that has anything lower than 30 something dollars an hour
Mhm.
because I can't afford it. Like that's
Right.
I right now I working for a county. I'm over $33 an hour, but still that's not enough to support what I have going. I can't even afford to buy another house right now until I sell the one I already have because it's not a feasible thing.
Mhm. Yeah, it's the same here. 35 an hour is like you might be homeless here.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Our federal minimum wage is still $7.50.
That's
Yeah.
even more ridiculous. I can't believe
Yeah,
that.
Virginia is 12.50, which is not any, much better, but still, like, I mean, the median income to afford house prices is doubled, tripled, and like you said, the tax brackets. Oh, what I was going to point out, if they do pass that bill, what they'll do is they'll just lump everybody into a salary as a salaried employee. They'll pay bump them a little bit more, and then they'll work them the same hours. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To get on that loophole. It might benefit them in the short term by earning more money, but then you don't actually get the time and a half or 2 times overtime pay,
Yep.
whatever have you. So it might not actually benefit you in the long run. And I think one of the large problems we have here with lawmaking in America is that these bills are introduced by groups or teams of like senators or House members, and with people backing them. So they're sliding little tidbits of information or specific details here or there that may, okay, two veins, positively or negatively impact the stock market, which we see with like Nancy Pelosi's the most prolific name there, making a ton of money off of her investments, quote unquote. Not insider trading. And then on the other hand, you have them maybe not representing their constituents by, putting in a few small things in their bills, which later impacts specific subsects of people. I don't know, so it's like, it's crazy how we have that going on here. And how am I supposed to be thinking about that, when it comes to voting time, when I can't afford anything on my $12.50 an hour job doing whatever, and my wife works, we have two kids. I can't afford to put them through daycare, so we have to figure that out. And then, schooling, what have you, food, beverage, whatever. And that's not amenities. That's you have car payment, you have rent, due, all that shit.
Necessities
So,
only.
right.
So that's the situation I'm kind of in right now. It would cost me money for my wife to go to work. That even with her working, there'd be no way that I'd be able to afford anything. Like I already am struggling pretty good just to maintain everything and still be able to have any time off. And I work a full-time second job, running my own company, but it's still, if she was trying to go back to work now and whatever, I'd have to pay, somebody else to take care of the kids and then have to find time to go and pick them up and deal with the whole shebang. It actually costs more for her. Like you think about it, you're paying somebody 12 plus dollars an hour to watch your kid all day. Well, she's got to make at least $12 an hour. Well, coming out of school and not going to college, that's not a very easy thing to do, you know?
Yeah, we don't promote skilled labor at all. We push secondary education,
Yep.
college specifically, because it props up the state, dude. That's mass. I mean, my student loans are ridiculous, guys. It's unbelievable, and it's my own fault. Like I should have done more in research, investment time into that. Learning how to get scholarships, grants, what have you. But I mean, just like letting 18-year-olds apply for shit like that is wild. You know what I mean? Like, here you
I
go. Here, have $150,000 to go to school, and then we'll charge you
Yeah.
7%.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And there's no guarantee of work after that, even in the same field, let alone a similar field.
Right.
I mean, most people I know don't use their college degrees or don't have a job in that college degree. Some of them, yeah, the only reason they got the job they're in is because they have a college degree, but it doesn't even apply.
Yeah, the exact number is 54% of fresh graduates are underemployed for the next 5 years after graduation, meaning they can't get a job in the thing they got the degree in, which is more
Yeah.
than half, which is
That's
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
My
It's
cousin, he has a biochemical engineering degree, something pretty advanced. Absolutely no work in the field for he's been trying to find a biochemical engineering job for like 8 years now. And there's nothing that's open without experience. Well, you can't gain experience if there's nowhere to work. So
Yeah.
right.
Meanwhile, like if you want to do some trade, like become an electrician, you could have unlimited amount of work, and it only takes like a year to 2 years to get the accreditation, and you will probably be a millionaire by the time you're 40 if you just
yeah,
do like the thing that nobody wants to do.
yeah,
You
you go
invest
go
any
be a
of your
lineman and make a boatload of money.
yes. Oh my God, those guys make good money. I mean, with acceptable risk. Their job
Yes.
is dangerous, so like they 100% deserve to get paid substantial amounts of money. The skilled labor we have, I work in general contracting.
Mm.
Prices skyrocket because that's what labor costs. All of our customers, the clients are like, oh, how can we value engineer this or that? But sometimes we can't because that's what's required by code, and the specialized labor just costs that amount of money. Like there's no way to get around that. You got to pay people what they're worth, and as it is, we don't have enough contractors to. I'm an estimator now, so I get bids from all these guys and walk through plan sets, figuring out the exact cost of a building or like a tenant upfit before it goes in, and limited access to good, like solid, hardworking, talented individuals. You know what I mean? It's getting slim out here.
Oh, it's a dying art all over the northern hemisphere. I feel like that it's completely falling off the face of the earth. No, they don't push trade schools at all. I mean, there's somewhat of our generation, I guess. There's still
A little bit.
a fair amount, but in the next generation behind us, I don't know anybody that's in a trade. That's just completely dead. Everybody's doing internet stuff, and it's not anything that's actually sufficient. The truck driving market is extremely narrow. I I don't have a single truck driver for my oil field work that is younger than like 33, and I have like 50 guys. So
There's good money
they're
in that too, isn't there?
oh, that's very good. I mean, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 thousand a week.
It's
Like it's
18% of the entire U.S. workforce. Did you know that?
yep,
18%, 20% are truck drivers, approximately.
I believe it.
and it's the other part of that is like 70% of them are over 50 years old. It's completely going to die in a very very quick hurry, and it's not going to have any replacement, so they're going to have to figure out a new thing. I think that's a lot of why kids are learning how to do this drone delivery, because that's going to have to be the
Or AI,
new
like the Tesla
setup.
trucks. Have you seen that?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
when that's a pretty big chunk of unemployment coming that way if those things become
Oh
mass.
yeah.
Like that's big.
I
Not
mean,
only
where do
that,
those
like
people
Uber
go?
drivers.
Where do they go? Do they go like to the production lines? Because you don't need human workers to do what you can build an automated process for. Like I just fail to
Hmm.
see where we can put this population. I mean, I don't ever see well, at least for, I shouldn't say this, I don't ever see, but at least for a little while, I don't see computers being able to do like plumbing, electrical work, HVAC systems, maybe design them. So that might make my job obsolete, but at least for the guys installing that kind of stuff, I think they
Well,
they have a
especially
little bit
for
more
repairs.
longevity. Yeah,
Yeah,
and repair.
as far as new buildings go, I don't think it's that far off for them to be able to install it with machines. But as far as the repairs go, that's going to be impossible. I mean, they're always going to need manpower for that, and until they have like actual robots that can maneuver.
That
So
hover around and like can soldier
yeah,
things together.
Craziest part
as
too
far
is
as like,
there's so many
go ahead.
opportunities where they'll pay you to go to school to learn the stuff too. Like you could literally
Yep,
do it free and still make like 200K a year just from
yep.
going learning it. It's crazy.
I've been offered that lately for truck driving. That it's now the in the U.S. anyway. You have to go to college now to become a truck driver. So
Yeah, I saw that.
that's even more discouraging towards kids trying to get a CDL. And you have to go to school for at least a month. It varies state to state, but at least a month. So you think it's significant amount of time. You can't just like put your job on hold and whatever. If you're not planning it straight out of high school, it's not an easy thing to just obtain. So I've had a couple of opportunities to be able to do that, but I don't have the time. That it's and not only that, but then it costs anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, depending on if you even have a truck that you can use or if you have to rent one for your testing, and that it's it's insane.
Yeah, even for your testing too. That's how they get people, don't they? They you have to lease the
Yep.
cab, and then all of the, I guess, the cargo is the rest of it. That's what you're taking from place to place. Um, but yeah, I mean, how much does one of those trucks cost? I don't know like the correct
Even
terminology.
just to
Team wheeler.
Yeah, just to rent their truck for your testing is like $1,500.
It's a
And
good
at your
market
test,
for them,
it's
I guess.
your test is like 20
That's
minutes.
ridiculous. Yeah,
It's
that's
nothing crazy,
ridiculous.
but it's insane for what it is.
That's insane.
It's like having to rent heavy machinery. Even here, that shit's insanely expensive. Even like a small boom crane.
Oh
What,
yeah,
3 grand a week, 5 grand a week, probably more.
probably more. Even just skid steer attachments. If I go, I do some like fencing for people's cattle and stuff like that on the side. Just to rent a post pounder for one day is $200 a day.
Really?
Like, and
Thought
that's
it'd be
just a skid steer attachment. That doesn't even count the skid steer. You think the skid steer is probably 300 to 500 a day, depending on it. Obviously, some of it gets cheaper the longer you rent it and stuff like that. But yeah,
Hand tools only on my farm, man. You got to learn the old school way. No heavy machinery allowed.
Buddy, that's what the kids are for, right?
there you go.
That's right. You gotta propagate a little bit.
Yeah,
Need to have a base level though. Something. Need to get the road paved. So maybe I do need a steamroller, like an asphalt setter or whatever the hell that shit's called.
Oh
Those
man,
things
it's
are
just
wild.
expensive. Just load it
that's
with
way expensive.
wood chips, dirt, maybe some gravel. Just pour it on top of whatever the hell's there. That's the way
Yeah,
to do it. Asphalt, you'll kill your land too because it leaches into the land. So you'll get a
yeah,
little bit of chemicals in your food if that's what you.
the tar does.
I need some glyphosate.
Yeah, you need some glyphosate in your food, bud.
Yeah, dude, where am I gonna go? They're getting rid of all the red 40 in the US. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna get my petroleum byproduct colors? I don't know what to do.
Need
I'm
more
sure
autism in your life. Fuck.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, come on.
Sure I could still get what do they label it as? Farm fresh raised salmon or fresh farm raised salmon. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure that's fresh. I'm sure. I can
Get
see.
fresh right out of the tank that's been marinating for 4 years.
You're right. Exactly. That's something. Do you guys know anything about like naturally hunted animals versus processed meats and like the tension in the muscles?
A
Um,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot
tell me
tougher.
about tell me about that a little bit.
A lot of it is diet.
Yeah. Okay.
So anything in a processed plant, they feed it to fatten it up. to make it bigger so they can sell it for more because then it weighs more.
Right.
Naturally. So a great explanation from that is so you're going to buy beef at the store. A lot of beef at the store is, they'll try and say it's grass fed or whatever. 90% of cows that go to sale, they feed them a shit ton of corn right before they go to sale because it weighs a lot and
it
it'll
marbles.
fatten them up.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, isn't that crazy, dude? People pay more for marbled meats. I'm like, aren't you just getting extra fat? Like, I just want the. I don't
That
want
is
that.
flavor, buddy.
That is flavor.
Yeah,
It
that's
tastes
true, but I don't need that, man. I don't know. I guess if I had the money to spend on it, sure, I would do it. But like, I'm just trying to be most cost effective for my meat. There's a couple
Yep.
farms out here. I might buy like a quarter cow or half cow, depending on how expensive it is. But
Half a cow, you're probably looking at $1,000.
yeah, I don't have the freezer space for it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
not
It
bad.
totally varies also on weight, on what kinds of cows, how big they are. Out here, I have red Angus, black Angus, Herefords. There's quite a few different varieties, but those are the three that I mainly work. We actually just had 3 weekends of branding calves.
Oh,
The
nice.
last 3 weekends, we did 500 calves. So
That's crazy. How
Wow.
long did that take you?
uh, 4 days.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like
Yeah,
a
we had
one night in a 6-pack kind of thing.
Oh,
That's that's like a keg
100
in the
and, 125 calves a day. And it was around, I don't know, by the time you get them wrangled and into the sorted and everything, it's kind of time consuming, probably somewhere in the 6 hours a day range. So you think 125 cows in 6 hours, roughly.
wow,
So that is wild. I was just going to ask, why do you have 3 different types of cows or multiple types of cows? Is there an advantage? Do they produce different types of meat?
Well,
Do you get
can be
different
different
things?
marbling, can be different weights. Some people like they have different demeanors. So I prefer red Angus cows because they're nicer.
Yeah, I like
They're
that.
they're not so temperamental. Where I don't really like black Angus cows because they're a lot meaner. Um, and then specifically, there's black Angus cows that have a white face or a painted face.
Uh-huh.
I absolutely hate them. I won't work on them. And I put them on somebody else. They're always mean. They're extremely mean. I probably got pictures on my phone, but me and my wife both got kicked really bad. I had
Dang.
a spot the size of probably a softball on the outside of my left knee that was purple. Like I easily could have broke my knee if I didn't like kind of turn with it. It would have for sure pulled my ACL or something. So
Damn. But I think it's safe to assume that the red Angus cows would be the brown ones and the
yep,
black
yep,
are the black ones. That's an
yep,
okay assumption. All right.
yep. And then Herefords are kind
I'm not
of
anything about them.
red and white.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Yep,
strawberry milk cows, chocolate
kind
milk,
of.
strawberry milk, and regular.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's what I
yep.
was gonna say. Yeah.
Do you pasteurize your milk, or how do you filter it? Do you
So
have cows, for
specifically
example?
with the ones that we use, we don't have any milk cows. So milk cows are even different yet. Ours are all just beef cows.
Beef.
Um, so we still like in Minnesota, one of the families that's my neighbor, they have one of the largest milk producing farms in the state,
Damn.
and so I just get milk from them. And we kind of do a trade, so they'll give me milk, I'll give them beef, kind of thing, as a
Sure.
not a I don't want to say an under the table thing, but it's like you're trading instead of whatever. And then you physically helping with, they'll come and help brand cattle and stuff like that. Cause that's very, people inducing, I should say. You need a lot of hands in order to work cows. It's not a 2-man operation.
How many head do you have right now?
I don't have any right now. I sold all mine, but we have 3 or 4 families right around us that, we go and help brand and my wife's family has somewhere in the probably 500 head range that we help them also take care of when it comes to vaccines and brands and stuff like that. So
Nice. I hear the market's been tough right now for the past little.
it isn't. It isn't. It's not. So sell price is way up. You can sell a cow for a lot right now. If you're trying to buy and get into it, yeah, no, good luck. A lot of money, but the beef market is insane for selling a cow right now. You can easily sell a 2-year-old cow for $2,000 like nothing. It's
Yeah.
it'll go all day.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nuts. But
Wow.
That is wild. Yeah, man, dude, I'm jealous. I want some actual. That's my thing. Like when I go to the grocery store, I can't see where any of that shit's coming from. Some facility, some warehouse, some. I don't know. There's small amount of products on the shelves that are from a legitimate, maybe mom and pop or like a legitimate
Mhm.
farm or garden, whatever somebody's doing, and somehow got it into a commercial space like that. But the large majority is what? Huge processing plants,
Yep.
right? Like Amazon style
Which have
warehouses.
terrible conditions most of the time. They're in giant warehouses or factories, and it's not a good. You're not getting good quality meat from there. You like if you get a steak from me and you get a steak from your local grocery store, you can taste the difference immediately. It's not anything. It's not even close. Like there's no comparison.
Yeah, like
You'll
some of
never
the
want to eat a store-bought steak again.
really some of the feedlots in like Eastern Washington that are like the size of 10, 20 cities that are as far as I can see, like with one like foot between cow for miles and miles and miles and end. And it's just like they're all sitting in like 6 inches to a foot of shit. And they're all
Yep.
just trudging through the mud. They've trampled the ground. And they bring in like 30, 40 container loads of like food every single day just to like power feed them. Yeah. We don't have
Well,
that
and
in Canada.
they have big troughs, and there's like a basically a road between them, and there's troughs on both sides. And you drive a truck with a chute, and the chute actively fills the troughs as you drive, and that's how they feed them at a feedlot. It's
Yeah.
insane. Most of the time, they're not getting the nutrients and minerals that they need to actually make a good tasting beef. It's just for mass producing. So
Yeah, exactly. In Canada, we have a quota system. So there's a limited amount of head that can be raised in all of Canada. And so if you want to raise chickens, you want to raise cows, for dairy or for meat, you have to basically buy quota from the government. And you can't go over the quota. So if you make too much meat, it just goes to waste pretty much. And so it forces a lot of the growers here to be a lot more cautious of what they're doing and like focus on quality over quantity, which is one thing that I appreciate about living in Canada. Sure, is like the quality of meat is like definitely definitely great compared to a lot of the stuff you get in the States.
definitely. America's got almost too much freedom on that aspect. There's not enough regulation to keep people honest. So
We've made
Yeah,
we've let people be used to it though. That's the problem. Like everybody
yeah,
wants to go to the store and buy a box of Dino Nuggets and a freaking frozen pizza with sausage on it. All this mass produced bullshit.
the yellow chicken
um,
freaks me out. I gotta be honest. You guys get that? We don't get yellow chicken here. Our chicken is not yellow ever.
that's from those
Corn.
mass factories,
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
chicken farms.
Oh, it's
Mine
disgusting.
ain't mine is not yellow. I'll tell you that.
Okay, good. Yeah, they
Thankfully.
like dye it yellow in California. If it isn't yellow, they
Oh,
have to dye it because it's like the mentality is like chicken is yellow. So people think
yeah,
that that shit blows my mind.
It's
dude,
crazy.
the school system here is failing heavily. I believe that they don't teach anybody where anything comes from. I have multiple people like we went to Minnesota State University in southern Minnesota to try and talk to college students to see what they actually knew. And a lot of them don't even know where milk and beef comes from. Oh, you just buy it at the grocery store. And that's not where it comes from. That might be where you buy it. That's not where it comes from. But it's insane.
Wow.
Ask how many people where Canada is, and that one gets me. When I went to
Oh,
California and I asked people, Whereas
Oh my
Canada,
god.
it was so horrified.
That's yeah. That's not good, man. That just shows our education system's failing. Like I had mentioned earlier, financial independence, even like I think it's more like street sense are not things that are taught, and those are some of the most adaptable and useful qualities and things to become an adult and get used to living in the real world, right? For lack of a better phrase.
I
I
think
think a
it's
lot of that is they teach you your direct surrounding. They don't teach you how to live in the country. They like you grow up in Chicago, they're going to teach you about Chicago, living in Chicago. They're not going to teach you about living in North Dakota or, middle of nowhere. They're going to teach you
Generalized
for
U.S.
living in a
history,
city,
some math, and some
Yeah.
science.
I think it's 21% of Americans are illiterate.
No, it's more. Well, it's. I think illiterate is correct. So
And then
no, I think it's more than that. I
it's
think it's like
50
I think it's
something
50.
percent.
I think it's 50%.
It's 50 something percent read lower than a grade 5 level.
Yes,
And
yes,
then
yes. You're right.
20% are completely illiterate and can't read at all. That shit
Yeah,
blows my mind. Like, holy shit.
functionally illiterate. People can't read stop signs. What does that say? Oh,
Yeah.
I just know like everybody stops there when I come to an intersection or whatever.
Or like 50% of people can't read the instructions on the back of a pill bottle to see how much medication they should take. That's like the best analogy I could think of. Yeah.
That's scary. That's scary not only in the sense that people probably aren't taking care of themselves in the way they need to be, but also like what well, I don't think I should say that because almost everything's being impacted in some way, shape, or form by media and the government. How many people are being influenced by mass media and just shit people are saying online? And I mean, what is it? 80% of accounts on social media are bots, and they're just like karma farming bots, just shoot out opinions. So like, people believe stuff, man.
Yeah, that's
I just
horrible.
looked up the illiterate thing. It says as of 2022, 21% of adults in the US are illiterate and 54% are below a 6th grade level. That's insane.
And that's
Absolutely.
probably what book do you think is at a 6th grade level? We're not even talking about Harry Potter yet, I don't think.
No, I wouldn't think so. That's crazy. Literally, probably that's probably a really good representation. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and I mean it's almost designed like that. I don't want to get kicked off the internet too early into my podcasting career, but they keep us where they need to be so they can do their thing, right? Like they wouldn't exist without us. And I guess vice versa, we might have a much better lifestyle and more quality among natural resources. Like me and my buddy Hunter, James, you've talked with him the last episode, but something we talk about all the time is the AI, increasing technology should allow us to do less, right? We should have
Mhm.
automated washing machines and like things to do our dishes and like simple everyday items that we don't need to be bothering ourselves with, right? Like chores and shit like that, right? Even the self-driving cars, I get, I would be able to work in the car on the way to work, right? Like I could use more time for productivity. But that's like a dream, right? That'll never happen. They're going to keep us doing mundane tasks so we forget
Yeah.
about the real issues and what's going on with society, the world, everything in general. Um, but you know, having that with the idea that we would have more free time, would the mass population actually use that for beneficial purposes or motivational items? Would we actually use that to its extent? Is my question.
I doubt it. I really do. I
Some people
I
would,
look at the
for sure.
I look at like the whole encompassing like picture of where the world's at right now, and I can't help but think of that movie Wall-E,
Yeah.
where they're all in the spaceship,
Just
and
watch
it's a
that
bunch of fat
recently.
people floating around because
Dude,
all
it
they
hit.
do is eat and watch TV, and then
Yeah,
like that's
Totally.
crazy.
So true.
it hits. I had the same thought. We were watching at like 10 o'clock before we went to bed or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is kind of almost how we exist currently.
Yeah,
Can I ask you guys a question? Are
Absolutely.
you proud to be American?
I would say yes.
I
For
would
sure.
say yes too.
Yeah, I
Like,
think there are a lot of issues with where we live, but I'm happy to be here. I think it's the land of opportunity. I think there are a lot of I'm a passionate person about like business, problem solving, stuff along those lines. And while there's a lot of evil in those industries for sure, I think the US gives me the most opportunity here and now. Will my opinion change in the future? Probably. But for now, I think, I've been given access to a great, upbringing, resources to move my way into adulthood, go to school, things like that. So, absolutely. But yes, my opinion could change.
building off that, I think it's this kind of a similar thing that it's like you said, it's the land of opportunity. There's I kind of going off of what I was saying earlier too. There's almost too much freedom to some degree that there's not enough regulation on some things and there's way too much regulation on other things, but it's um and like all around, yeah, it's there's the most ability I think to just start and grow something from nothing and not have necessarily a significant repercussion like if you fail, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my career or my business didn't take off. Well, I'll just go work for somebody else. You know, it's not like and the other side of the world where that's not necessarily an option.
Mm-hmm.
You started your own business. Well, nobody around wants to hire you because they think you're going to bail on them.
Yeah. I do in a sense though like more traditional European vibes in more of like towns and town centers and walkable places and things like that. I am very jealous of the European lifestyle in that way. But I will say American consumerism has driven us to pretty much the what we say tip of the iceberg, like the top, right? Because we have that competitive market. We have the best healthcare. Although it's ridiculous the structure we have, I'll admit that we have some of the best doctors and surgeons and people in the world because of those stringent, I guess, guidelines. I don't want to speak too negatively, right? Right. We're still
The
going on.
other part of that too, we definitely pay for it though.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And that's the trade off. And while I disagree with a lot of what we've got going on with healthcare, it's hard to say that we don't have one of the best healthcare systems in terms of like medically efficient, I guess, most
Yes.
you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and I think that translates across industries. And it's hard for me as I would say, like, regularly adaptable, average human, borderline, ethically, morally sound, right? Like, it's hard for me to survive in this capitalistic society because of what's going on. But I do think I still have a lot of opportunity. Um, to do things here, right? Like a lot of good business laws. Like once I get the podcast all set up, forming companies, websites, all that fun stuff, that's easily accessible for me, here at my house. So very much appreciate that. Long spiel. You get me
Totally.
ranting about that shit.
Yeah, the medical industry in Canada is pretty horrible. The new laws in Canada passed and they banned privatized clinics. So you can't
Really?
pay for
I heard
healthcare.
about that.
Yeah, you have to go through the government. And Canada suffers from something called brain drain, which where all of the really smart, talented people in Canada go to the States because they'll get paid 50% more, just because you get paid way more there and there's way better population, way better opportunities. And so there's nobody left here. And so for somebody like me who, let's say, got sick, if I wanted to get help, I'd have to wait like a year to 2 years to even get any form of
And I'm
help.
assuming that's something that's non-life threatening, right? Like you still have emergency rooms if
No,
somebody's like shit,
no,
something
no.
needs to happen.
Like let's say you tear your ACL and you need surgery, then you're going to be waiting for 2 years before you can
I'm
get that
talking
surgery.
more like a stab wound in like an artery or something.
Yeah, yeah. If you get stabbed, you'll probably get some stitches. You know?
It's crazy to
Like,
think about, like an
Now they just
ACL
cut your
tear.
leg off. That's what.
Yeah,
yeah, if you have like
amputation.
if you have colon cancer and you need a surgery and you're gonna die, you probably will have to wait 2 years and you'll probably die. It's
Is it a
horrible.
better option to go to the United States? Will they let you in on a visa, like a health visa or something like that?
like it's okay to go to the States, but you pay an arm and a leg in the States. It's like better to go to like Turkey or like one of the European countries where it's really affordable, or even India. Like you can go to India and it's like a tenth the cost to do almost anything.
Sure.
Like even if you want to do like IBF, like if you're trying to get pregnant, like here in Canada it might cost like 100 grand, 60 to
Holy
100.
cow!
Wow.
Yeah, but there it'll
Even
cost like
down here, it's only like 25 grand, I think.
yeah. I mean, maybe I'm probably butchering my numbers, but I'm pretty sure when we looked into like the whole thing, yeah, it was
That's
at least
crazy.
30 because you might do 25 grand, but you're probably gonna need more than one round to do it for a lot of
Possibly.
people, right? So yeah, it can add up.
Yeah, my
Squeeze.
cousin, he was infertile, and they went and did that thing, and I think it cost them somewhere in the 25 to 30 grand range, and they got one kid out of it, and they're like, yeah, we can't do that anymore because we can't afford it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy,
Wow.
man. That's like insulin prices. They're squeezing you for things that are ridiculous to squeeze you for, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
totally.
then they'll issue you Narcan for free.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Ozempic, buddy.
I was that, yeah,
Yeah.
GLP-1s. That's taken over. I mean, to be honest, like, do we know how much medical testing has been done on that? I know, like, obviously to get it through FDA and to get it pushed out into markets, TV commercials, all of that stuff, they've had to go through some sort of significant research level, some sort of trial. But like, I had never heard of this before a few years ago, 5 years ago. So like, is there really long-term knowledge on this? I would say probably not.
Oh,
So
probably.
the main thing about Ozempic, my dad's on it, is well, people use it as like a weight loss drug, and it actually has remarkable benefits for people who have diabetes or who have heart conditions or who are like overweight, obese, any of that. But
Mhm.
the one negative thing is while it doesn't directly target body fat, so let's say you lose 10% of your body weight, 10% might be bone densities, 10% might be muscle density, and 10% might be or like it'll be split evenly. Like the 10%
Sure.
will be bone density, muscle density, and fat. And like any research that has gone into longevity, like the number one indication of how long you live is like how much bone density you have,
Right.
which which is like you could be
You
shortening your lifespan, but
right, but
overall, it's like
you can build that through strenuous exercise and daily activity. My question would be to that is like, I've heard that it suppresses your, is it the specific
well,
hormones or like specific neurological levels that allow you to it's almost like addiction therapy treatment in a way. So like if that's something that you love to do and that the endorphins get signaled in your brain when you eat, right? So you get hit with a GLP-1 that suppresses your appetite. So
mhm,
from what I'm taking away from it and what you said and what I've read, it sounds to me like if you maintain a healthy lifestyle, you eat good food, you're exercising, lifting weights is one of the best things you can do for bone density and building that, especially, muscle burning fat. The more muscle you have, the more fat you burn. But yeah, that would, if he's got a good lifestyle and exercises, that's what I'm saying. Like that seems to be the only negative association with it right now.
mhm.
My problem is, do we know anything longer than that? Like 20 years if somebody's been repeatedly using the drug.
The only thing that's that long would be the clinical trials in the beginning,
Right.
and that's not even necessarily the final product either. But that'd be the only look. Um, Same kind of thing when you talk about like this COVID shot. I won't even call it a vaccine because it's not a vaccine. It's a shot. They want you to re up on it like the flu shot. The flu shot's called a flu shot, not a flu vaccine because it's a shot. It's not a. It's not curing you. It's prolonging something potentially.
Providing
it's
resistance.
it's it's putting that small amounts of that disease in your system so that your body gets immune to it, creates its own immunity, but it's not necessarily a guarantee. Where you have stuff, like the polio vaccine, that it is a vaccine. It's making you immune to something. That's different.
Yeah, I listened to an interesting episode on Rogan. He had a lady come on who was a long time practicing. Oh man, what was she? Not a kinesiologist. She was a kidney specialist, and she left the medical industry over the flu shot because the I don't know, the board or the directors, whoever was managing her, was forcing her to give flu shots to her elderly patients who didn't take it well because they were poor hygiene, out of shape, yada yada, and they would get the shot and they would develop symptoms of the disease and it would negatively benefit them. Well, she stopped suggesting to give them the shot, and they wouldn't allow that. So she went on to research alternative medicine for that, and the whole idea of vaccines. Super interesting. I don't know enough about it to really speak on it, but she was talking about the polio vaccine, and how that was really an overarching what do we say, overarching subject matter, basically. Like back then we didn't understand medical science as much, so anything that remotely resembled polio was just thrown under that umbrella. And when they came out with the vaccine, they cured 60 out of 70,000 cases, when in reality they cured 12 out of 30,000, whatever those numbers are, significantly less. And then the rest of them were just different medical conditions that they decided to make arbitrary because the definition didn't hold that anymore. Does that make any sense?
Yep.
So
Like you said, it's an umbrella aspect.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know enough to argue for or against her. That's my problem. Like, there's so little people researching that information because everybody's caught up in the machine. You know what I mean? Like, she very well could be right. And we're all living under the guise of all these vaccine schedules and everything out here is terrible. Or she could be wrong. But I don't think there's enough independent voices out here debating each other, or like looking at actual controlled trials for me to make a decision on it. So, like, it's
I've
crazy.
looked
Yeah.
I've looked at a lot of the control trials as far as like vaccinating your children go, and there's a lot of what they try to force on you to get shots for your kids and stuff that are negatively impacting, like you can see in the trials that they've done, over the course of 10-year-olds from when they're 1 to when they're 10. There's a significant uh, increase in problems and diseases happening with kids that were vaccinated versus non-vaccinated. So my son has no vaccinations, and they're like, even today, I had his 1 year doctor's appointment was today, and they started talking about the measles and mumps shot. But if you look at the statistics from the last 10 years of the measles and mumps shot, there's an extreme variation of negatively impacted children from getting that, and so it's another one that I'm not going to get. That it just adds to it. The only kind of thing that he's had at all is vitamin K cream for helping open his eyes when he was first born. That's the only thing that he has got so far.
Wow. When COVID first came along, I launched my honeybee company, and I went door to door to maybe like 1,000 people. And so while COVID and everyone was isolating, I went and talked to thousands and thousands of people. And when the vaccine came out, throughout the whole COVID experience, I think I met not a single person who died from COVID, but I met 16 people, 16, who died within 24 hours of taking the vaccine.
Yep.
And those weren't technically considered COVID deaths, COVID vaccine deaths, because it has to happen 72 hours afterwards. So none of that was reported. And something about that just felt wrong for me. So I don't know.
The bad thing in the States was it didn't matter what they had. If any of them contracted COVID, whether it was from the vaccine or anything else, they died of a heart attack in the hospital and they had got the vaccine while they were there. All of that counted under COVID deaths in the U.S. And every COVID death, the hospitals gained $25,000 for adding the statistic. So multiple large corporation hospitals were just claiming things as COVID deaths. So it says that on their death certificate, instead of, hey, my dad had a heart attack and died. No, it says he died from COVID-19. So he added to a statistic just so the hospital could get more money to try and help
Yeah,
fund.
they paid him per bed. Yep, I
Yeah.
heard about that.
Did you guys ever catch it?
Yeah, I definitely had it to some varying degree. But I
How
was
do you
also they made me take the vaccine when I was in Colorado for work. My company required it. So
They tried to require it in oil field, and like 70% of us said you can get bent, and didn't go to work, and they lost something like $7 million a day for like 7 days, and very quickly retracted that statement, and nobody
Nice.
nobody went and
I mean,
got
low
it. So
key, bro, that's unconstitutional. I know they get the what is it, USA, Emergency Use Authorization Act or whatever, but I
well,
don't know.
it isn't. It's not legal. You can't. They
What's
call it a mandate, but it's not. It's not law. You don't have to get it. So my family
Trying
didn't.
to get it so
They
I got to stay home and not have to work on a construction site. So it's not like I was working virtually or working from home. So I was like, yo, let me get it for a couple days.
they
Stay
they
home, man.
actually kicked my dad out of the hospital because he didn't have it and he wouldn't wear a mask. We were completely against that whole thing, and he my mom went in for rotator cuff surgery, and they neither one of them, they wouldn't wear masks, they didn't get vaccinated, none of that stuff, but they were trying to force him with security to put a mask on or get out. And my dad's a county commissioner, so he's got a lot of swing in the community.
Sure.
And he basically went legal with it. And the first day that he decided to leave so that he didn't make too big of a scene, and the second day they didn't say anything to him. He showed up, he was there the whole day. They wouldn't even approach him because he went to the head of the state for that. So,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
yep.
Yeah, it just shows you how easily the population can be convinced of something, whether it was right or wrong. I'm not arguing either way, but just shows how easily that can happen. Like not necessarily overnight, but I remember I was on spring break. I was in the Florida Keys, and we got like an email saying like this COVID mass outbreak thing was happening. We're like, hell yeah, bro. That means one more week is spring break. You know, we're hanging down here, we're at the beach, we don't care. And then the literal world shut down for the next year
Yeah,
almost,
pretty much.
which is crazy.
Where I was doing custom construction at that point, and I didn't have any problem with anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Homeowners needed houses built. I didn't have any problem with nothing. So
I stayed home, I think 2 days because I got COVID twice and I worked every other day. I mean, nothing stopped for me.
I got relatively sick, but it was in like, I don't know, November of 2019. It was kind of before that stuff started. I was probably one of the sickest I've been. It knocked me down for a solid week where I felt pretty dead. I didn't want to move. Like
Hmm.
I slept a lot. It wasn't anything like traumatic. I wasn't like throwing up all the time or anything. I just felt exhausted for like a solid week. I didn't want to move. So I took work off for that, but that was pretty much it. The rest of the time I never had any issues. So
I think I was the
Yeah.
same as you. Like November 2019, that's when I got sick. And then I caught it again later, and it was like nothing. I brushed it off like it was a cold.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
way
know.
worse than this
I was just like, oh, I got a strong flu bug, you know. I assumed I had pneumonia or something was basically what I had chalked it up to because COVID wasn't a thing yet in 2019. So like if you want to call it that, that's the only time that I would have said that that actually could have been it because of how severe it was. But I'm also one of those people that doesn't go to the hospital. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about halfway in between because I like I've been focusing a lot more on like vitamins and nutrients I need to eat because obviously what I'm getting from this processed bullshit is not up to the levels of what my body needs to maintain itself. So,
speaking of that,
yeah.
do you take magnesium?
I did for a while, but I cut it out because I was taking beef liver supplements and I got my blood test back. My kidneys were struggling a little bit because I take a lot of creatine as well. So I need to get back on my supplement stack, is what they say. That's the lingo.
Hmm.
They're not hip, but for all you guys out there. But yeah, I need to get magnesium, probably vitamin D, and then I'll probably take a little bit of C as well, maybe K.
Another thing, throw a little zinc in there.
A little
Zinc's
zinc.
also very good for you.
Zinc fucks with my stomach. That's why I have issues with zinc.
It's
It does, but take it in smaller amounts.
it's also And something you should never take on an empty stomach. You should always have it
Yeah.
with food because it can strip your gut lining. And so as long as
Yes.
you have it with like a lot of food, it's good. But it's a precursor for testosterone. So if you want to get yoked and have lots of hard
Yep.
erections, then highly recommend it.
All right, so men, everybody out there listening, if you made it this far, Mackenzie has a great recommendation for you. Should we capsule them up and sell them as boner pills in like all the gas stations here? James, you got the Exxon hat on, bro. Hook us
I
up.
do, man. I'm in there.
Oh man.
It's a boner
Yeah,
pill at a gas station. Actually, it's just zinc, so it's actually good for you. It's not a bunch of this made up bullshit that they have in there, probably. But I know it's kind of getting close to the time where you need to go do your whiskey tasting. So I wanted to wrap it up with a beekeeping question slash conversation. The last time that we left off talking about it, I think you had mentioned you're almost ready to go on the road and prove your skills at, what did you say? There's a large conference coming up. You were kind of giving talks and you wanted to go door to door more to spread the word of the art of beekeeping rather than run your own facility. What's
absolutely.
that kind of look like? Because that's been a year. That was almost a year ago. So what is that
Yeah, man.
like for
So
you?
it was about a year ago, or about 2 years ago, really, that I started trying to sell most of my bees and try to launch like actual businesses for people.
Sure.
To date, I've sold 100% of my bees, so now I'm managing none, and I'm just doing consulting and helping people and teaching them how to beekeep. Um, it's actually kind of horrible what's happened, but Canada lost about 70% of the bees last year.
Oh no.
It was one of the worst winters of all time in Canada. However, again, it's still an opportunity. There's like such a deficit in pollination. So we've been able to do a lot of help and help a lot of people get their businesses up and running. And so I think we've helped maybe 15 people so far. And each of them are managing anywhere from 100 to 500 hives right now.
Yeah, that's
So
exciting.
it's been a journey. And yeah, lots of cool stuff. We did a little bit of medical research over the past couple of years to showcase the beneficial effects of the apitherapy products of bees, such as
Yeah, we
bee.
were talking about that last time. Was it the royal
Yeah,
jelly?
and the royal jelly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Natural, natural Viagra. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget. You made some great pitch on that last time, and I went back and listened to it. I was laughing my ass off. That was so funny. But yeah, I think last time you said it takes forever to get through like the FDA regulations. Have you guys tried doing any more of that? Like, do you have anything
Yeah.
else?
It's tricky because like the actual demand for the products themselves are so much higher than the supply, and
Sure.
so it's almost better to just call it a food product and make no claims, and people can trust what they trust. We don't make any claims that it does this or does that. We just show that, hey, we had 100 people here who took it and were able to increase their white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets, which helped 80% of the autoimmune diseases that they were facing. So that's as simple as like the pitch we can make it.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that it'll do the same for you, but it did it for those people, and so far it's done it for everyone we've given it to. So, but it's really difficult to make. So like, it's costs almost $500 per pound to make it, which is about a
Wow.
year's worth of dosage for one person. But it's like one of the most remarkable supplements that could, like I said before, increases your immunity, as well as the most notable side effect is it increases your libido, and so it's almost like a natural Viagra.
Yeah.
And a lot of new research have been shown that like also taking bee venom orally can also help like remove polyps from your gastrointestinal tract, as well as like
Interesting.
different types of intestinal cancer. So
Yeah.
a lot of cool research about bees. It's a shame that they're dying so fast, because otherwise we'd be able to help the planet a lot more.
Yeah. It's crazy how the natural environment is like that. And it can provide us so much more than what we currently use it for, right? Like there's so much left unsaid about medical research in the term or in the realm of plant medicine. It doesn't all have to be like Eastern technology, Eastern medicine, you know. We can have Western medicine that incorporates plant healing. Like there's so much stuff and so much nature has to offer. I feel like we so quickly turn to like opioid and prescription medication and the lab manufactured bullshit, when in reality we should be looking outside for things around us. I get that, like, tribal peoples didn't have an age span of 80, 90 years. Like I get that, but like think about their quality of life, like eating simple foods in the environment around them and creating their community out of like sacred places, right? Like, so I don't know. I just want cleaner food. I don't want to have to go out of my way to get it. It's so hard. I can go to Whole Foods, but isn't that just another marketing tactic to get me to buy organic product that may or may not be produced in the same facility as everything else? I don't really know. I know some of it is, some of it isn't, but
That's
it's
actually a very, very large thing that's kind of going around right now. There's a lot of people claiming organic, and they're doing the bare minimum to make something
meet the
claimed
standard,
as
right?
organic, and it's not actually organic. It's still mass produced. It's just into a subsidiary that it's somewhat considered okay. Where when you actually do solid research on what you're buying for specific organics, you'll know the difference in what's in it, if it's actually organic or not.
Yeah, back when I was in honey production, we went through the hiccup to get our organic certifications. And like we have one lot of all of our lots that can be called organic. And it's so easy for us to just take any of our honey and put it into that lot
Yeah.
and call it organic. And you would never
Mhm.
know. Because even if you tested it, you wouldn't know. Because it's like there's almost no difference between it and other honeys that we have. It's like, yeah, it's pretty
What
easy.
are before we get going here, what are types of things that those standards your product has to adhere to? Is it just like the manufacturing process or like how does that work?
Um, so, um, in Canada, we have something called the CFIA, which is like your FDA in the US.
Mhm.
And essentially, you just have to have a registered facility if you're doing the manufacturing yourself, which is subject to an inspection every single year. And so once a year, we just have a health inspector come in and take a look at the place and make sure that it's up to code. And like we have to adhere to like certain regulations, a lot of which are really stupid. Like we have to have like a certain number of mouse traps and like fly traps in our honey facility. We have to have like a
Interesting.
bunch of different like risk protections. We have to wear hairnets and lab coats in the food facility. And that's
Right.
pretty much like the majority of it.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah. So I don't know. A lot of those claims have come up in the past, especially specifically about our organic market. But yeah, man.
Yes,
Well,
especially the honey.
James,
Honey's so
yes,
fake.
honey. Honey is a huge one.
Yeah, honey, olive oil, milk are like the three big ones
Yeah.
that are like all just fake. It's never what it
Yeah.
actually is.
Olive oil is a huge one.
Huge, yeah, it's never olive oil.
No,
Almost
Is
vegetable
it
oil.
just a bunch of different? Is
it's
vegetable oil
it's
just?
always canola oil. It's
Yeah,
very yeah.
That's crazy. You guys just ruined that for me.
yeah. Sorry,
Sorry.
buddy.
Damn.
Sorry, not sorry.
I gotta get imported olive oil too. Damn, bro. I'm already breaking the bank. Extra $10 for a bag of rice because I gotta get that imported rice, baby.
You just gotta
Yeah.
know your plugs. You gotta have a dairy plug. You gotta have an olive oil plug. You need a honey plug, man.
Yeah.
All
That's the
right.
three
Well,
biggest ones. That's the three
Yeah.
biggest ones.
If you like,
I was
if
gonna
you like
The other
nice,
say,
one, the other one is your eggs. If you eat a lot of eggs, you want real farm fresh eggs. You don't want store bought eggs.
it's so different. It's
Real. The other.
so much better.
So we were talking a little about chickens. Chickens
Mhm.
that lay eggs on a farm, you do not need to refrigerate.
yes.
Yeah. No, like it's
Unless you wash them. If you wash them, then you need to refrigerate them.
yeah. If you bleach them, then you need to refrigerate them like they do in the grocery store.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a
Safe to say.
lot of stuff that goes into all of that.
Oh yeah. No, my one of my coworkers has what 7 chickens, so he's brought some in for me. Thankfully, haven't had to eat that from the store. But alas, my meat still comes from Kroger, baby. Good old grocery store. Now I get a lot of it from Costco, but I mean I'm sure that's not a huge difference either.
You're just gonna have to give me your address, and I'll send you a bunch of. You like venison?
Yes, I do.
Hey, I like
Yeah.
venison too. I have an address.
I can
And
send it
cross
via
country.
via
That's cross
freezer
country.
freezer cooler something.
Hey, what are the
I
tariffs? What are the tariffs right now? Might have to wait a month.
Yeah.
I'll pay the difference, buddy. I'll pay whatever it is. I'm pretty sure you can give away stuff for free. You don't have to pay tariffs on $0 of goods, right?
True. Especially if
Yeah.
you're sending it as a
Well,
gift. Yeah.
what about
It's-
James? He doesn't have to pay tax on it anyway.
True.
How does that work? Can you export? Like, do you pay export
As far
taxes?
as I know, I can export. I guess I haven't tried yet. So
Yeah.
that's
Do you
that's
pay
something I
tax?
should look into. That's a good idea.
It's a really good idea.
I've helped import things, but I don't know about the export side.
Yeah.
I have
This is-
friends in Mexico that custom make trailers and import them into the U.S. They can make them in Mexico for like $2,000, import them for like 3,000, sell them for like 30.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's good business. That's nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
very lucrative.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. All right, fellas. Well, we'll wrap it up here. I appreciate both of you coming and taking your time to be on the podcast, the Slanted Attic Experience. Both of y'all, I mean, James, this is your second time. I think Mackenzie, your third. Can't wait to have you guys back. Great conversation. Next time, we need to find a time that James is less busy working and Mackenzie doesn't have very important events to attend to later this evening. Because I'd really like to sit down. You know, Rogan does like 3.5 hours. I think like a 3-hour conversation with us would be phenomenal because there's still a few things that I didn't get to ask either of you about that I was wanting to get into. You know, whole goal of this podcast platform is to kind of let a natural conversation roll. You know, I don't really want to interrupt. I want to kind of just, you know, whatever you're passionate about, those things will come out, right? Like I feel like, you know, you can really tell people's points of emphasis, even in their voices on the audio only platform. But hopefully, next time I have you guys on, I'll have the capabilities to do video as well. So everybody will get to see your lovely faces and Mackenzie's unbelievable background. Need you to take a selfie or something so I can put it up on the screen before the end. But any closing remarks you guys have before we get going here?
That was
I
great
just
to catch
I
up with you
can't.
guys.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already been 10 years since we met so long ago. That's
20
crazy.
years. We'll have to do like a 20-year reunion or something in Jamaica or somewhere else. That'd be so fun to reach out to,
Oh, 100%.
especially you guys. But I'm sure a couple of those other guys would make the effort, right? So
I think
I
so.
have contacts for so many people. It's not even funny.
that's right. Or we'll start a huge homestead.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm down for that.
There we
I'm
go.
looking into 230 acres right now, so that's
Whoa.
pretty significant.
Whoa, that's gonna be fun, eh?
Yeah.
30 acres. God, how much does that cost? Don't tell me. It's gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah, 850. Yeah, it hurts
Oh,
the pocketbook, but in
buddy,
the U.S. you can get an agriculture loan. So if you're gonna run cows and stuff on it, they help you out. So
I'm trying to buy my own lot. It's 15 acres, and it's 1.5.
oh, dude, I have
And it's
15 acres right now, and I got it for like I don't even know 250,000.
Oh no, my parents they own 2 acres, and I think their home is valued at 4.5 million now.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
For 2 acres, it's ALR, so it's agriculture land.
Mhm.
So like can't even like build stuff on it. It's insane. It's the worst farmland on planet Earth. It's like
Oh my god.
if you farmed it, you might be able to get 10 grand a year off it, and you can buy it for 4.5 million. It's the
That's
dumbest shit.
insane. That's insane.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's so stupid.
That is wild. Inflation,
But anyway,
money.
fellas,
Money
I'm
value.
going back to work after this, so until it gets dark. So
Sounds like fun. Next time we can talk about the fiat currency that is the US dollar and why the gold standard was removed and why money doesn't exist. So we'll catch you next time.
Why,
No,
why,
no, I'm
like
joking.
such a loaded topic.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, why are we talking about that this whole time?
Yeah, get everybody excited for the next one after listening to this for an hour and 45 minutes.
you
But
never really did your intro either. We kind of just went
no,
into it.
no,
You
no. Yeah, so when I get that write up from you, I do that beforehand, so that'll run into the episode. So it'll just cut right into us chatting.
good
Wicked.
deal. I was like, yeah, we never kind of did any of your your beginning, so
That's all right. They get to listen to me talk for like 30 seconds at the end if they make it this far. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate you taking the time, both of you. I know you got important things to do. And to be with me here on the Slanted Attic Experience podcast is incredible. And I just appreciate you guys for being here. I really do.
Yeah,
Awesome.
appreciate you guys too, taking
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Talk to
We'll
you
have
guys
to
soon.
meet up. I haven't seen you guys in person for 10 years, so that'll have to change sometime soon as well.
Yeah, group
For
trip to
sure.
Vancouver. I'll take you guys here. You can come swimming with me.
I'm down.
Perfect.
I'm down.
I'm in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Would love to do so. All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us for this long. If you are here, you can find all of our links available in the bio of the podcast, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're following us on. And it is available on all your major podcast platforms at the Slanted Attic Experience or at Slanted Attic on social media. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.